feel like falling in love. I can't wait for that concert. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? My loves, we have a lot to get through. We got a lot to get through today, so the intro is going to be brief. What's good, my love? What's good? Hey, Truthski, what's up, y'all pretties? Hey! Hey, Kimberly! What's up, Greta? How are we doing? Miss Gigi said, hey, there's our family. We are I missed your life. Thank you. Thank you so much. This will be worth. Heidi said, oh, we happy Tuesday. Hey, NikkiStar fan. I miss you guys too. Oh no, something sounds wrong. Oh no. Okay, let me just turn off my audio. Is this better? Let me know. Let me know if the sound is good. If not, I have to come out and come back. That's why I hate the lives now, y'all. They just are giving me so many problems. All right, hold on. I'm back. Let me know if the audio is better. If not, we might have to record this one. Oh my goodness. Let me know. It's always the lives, man. That's why I don't want to use StreamYard anymore, but enough of that. Yes, we're better. We are better. Thank you. Thank you, Drewski. Thank you, Simply Simone. Thank you. Ciao. I was just like, what is happening here? What is happening here? I'm telling you, since thank you, Amira. Since I came back to LA, everything is like off whack. I feel like I created like a little studio in Atlanta, like a set time, and we were good. LA is crazy. Crazy. But you know, back to life, back to work. It is what it is. I'm not complaining. Hey, Ryan Reigns. How are you doing? So today, guys, this is going to be the breakdown. We're first going to get into the Real Housewives of Potomac because that's a bit more current. Then we're going to get into Life After Lockup. Then we are going to discuss Miss Nene Leakes, what happened with her son Brent. My God, today, extremely scary. We're going to get into that. And then we are going to end with something that I hope is just a rumor, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Are Cynthia and Mike Hill still together? Listen, I have not checked with my sources because I don't want to know. I don't want to know, but we will talk about it. We will talk about why there's things circling, and also, you know, just get my little thoughts and opinion on it. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Let's start off with the Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's get into it. Where does Potomac Holes at? Oh, was I ever able to do it? I was never able to upload it. Oh well. Stream your. So there's something happening, and I can't upload my pictures, but y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Potomac, the Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's get into it. So we open up with the Queens of Potomac. We open up with Karen and Giselle. I think that these two know exactly what they're doing. The show knows their power, and that is why, if you can remember far back to like the last three seasons, we've always started off with Giselle. Oh my gosh, Johnny, thank you so much. Wait, I found it. Hold on, hold on. Oh, trying to get the studio together. Hold on. Did you hear it, Johnny? Did you hear it? I found it. I only had to like go through everything that I had, but thank you so much, Johnny, for the Cash App. Johnny said, "This is just for bringing joy and fun into our lives with love." You're so kind. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Um, so if you go like think about three or so seasons back, Giselle and Karen always start off the season. They always open the season, and they always close the season. Here's why, but especially with opening, because I feel like these two are aware, and the show is aware of their power, of their impact, and how they ghost produce, and they ghost produce so well that I feel like Kyle from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, used to be on it. I think this season kind of frazzled her and she fell off a bit. And Garcelle was just able to step in and fully ghost produce the season. And I think she's killed it. But I think that's where these ladies are trying to aspire to, is to get to the Giselle and Karen Huger kind of ghost producing. Because I honestly, in my heart of hearts, think that these ladies are really good friends. I think they're really good friends. I think the rest of them are coworkers, but I think that these two are really good friends. And I think they meet before the season, and I think they prepare what they're going to do. And this is why I think that they are able to get over so many issues that they have had together as friends or frenemies. They are able to move past those things so quickly in the span of an episode and move on to something else by the next episode. That is genius. It's also a reason why I do not believe that they actually have beef. I believe that these two work this show like the job it is. And I think that is why their checks always clear. And I think that is why the Real Housewives of Potomac will never move on from these two ladies, because they get that this is a job and they do what needs to be done. And they do it so flawlessly. It's so entertaining. I love Karen and Giselle. I love them on the show, and I love their relationship and how they interact and ghost produce. So we open up with these two just checking in. They're talking about Ashley and this divorce. While they're talking, Ashley walks up, and then Ashley says, "Oh my goodness, it's been 4 months," because child just got real cloudy. And you know, in LA, when you see clouds, it's probably a fire. Keep me in your prayers. Anyway, Ashley walks up and she's just like, "Oh, guys, it's been 4 months." And this is why I say that I think that Giselle, Robin, and Karen are the only real friends in this show. I think that Giselle and Robin are really good friends. And I think that Giselle and Karen are really good friends. Here's why: because Ashley says, "I haven't talked to you guys in 4 months." That means the last time I talked to you guys was when we were at work. I don't think they really do anything outside of their job. When we see them in TikToks and all of that and all of those things, I think we're just seeing the ladies doing work promotions, or doing their additional confessionals, or wrapping up a storyline, or for reshoots. I don't think they all actually hang out outside of this. I think probably before the show they may have had interactions and may have been friends or friendly and may have met, and hung out and maybe did a girls trip or two. But I feel like outside of the show, everybody is just co-workers, because if they're really friends, why hasn't Ashley seen them for 4 months? And why are they just now talking about her filing for divorce? Something in the water ain't clean. Anyway, Candace is doing a bang up job. A bang up job. I love the fact that not only did she open up for SWV, she opened up for Faith. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. And I've always felt that Candace has a career outside of this show. I will say, even though I love the Grand Dame, I don't know what she would do without the Real Housewives of Potomac. But for Candace, in my opinion, Not so sure like on her music career. I think she has a great voice or whatever, but I feel like the music biz is a bit more of a steeper climb for her. But in acting, I can absolutely see Tyler Perry scooping her up and making that woman a star. I think if she leaves this show this season, which she won't, but I'm just saying, if she does leave this show at any time, I think she will be fine without it. I really, really, really do. But she's doing big things. She's opening up for Faith and she's opening up for SWV. You just don't get that, right? Like, you got to do some work to get there. So she's doing a name, making a name for herself. And she is also going to be prepared to go on tour and preparing to build her family, because in the opening episode, we see that Candace is freezing her eggs for, maybe being a parent later down the line. So we're going to watch her go through the in vitro, right? Is it in vitro? Egg freezing situation later on within the season. So good for them. Her and that man are starting their family. Good for them. Candace, sunscreen for your husband. Sunscreen for your husband. You got to get that man to put that on every day, even when he's in the house. I got on sunscreen now and I'm in the house, right? Even when he's in the house, if he goes anywhere where there is light, where there is natural sunlight, you have to make sure your husband has on sunscreen. And this goes, in my opinion, for anybody who is in a relationship with a partner that is extremely lighter than you. You both need sunscreen, but your light partner needs sunscreen. Here is why. Y'all will age at drastically different times, right? You will still, especially if you are dark and lovely, you will still be serving a good 32 while your partner is given 80. You know what I mean? So make sure you get some sunscreen on your husband. No shade. I'm seeing some spots. I'm seeing some damage. Like, get them. You only in your 30s, girl. You only in your 30s. But good for you guys. I'm glad that everything is going well, and I'm glad that he got himself a little management job that's not managing you, but managing the kitchen. That's where he needs to be, because that's where he shines. Robin. No, let's get to Charisse. I feel like Charisse is just here to annoy the grand dame, and I'm here for it. I don't think she has any storyline. I think when we see Charisse outside of the grand dame, it just won't be interesting, and it will not be worth it, because I didn't really care for her scenes with Robin. I'm just like, can we get to you and the grand dame? And I think that's what she's here for. So I'm okay with that. I am okay with that, because listen, I will say the grand dame shows up for work, but Charisse is going to make sure that she shows up for work. So I'm here for it. I am here for it. Robin. The Lord is still working on me. So okay. I just, Robin, I don't believe that you and this man are getting married. I don't. Every season, it's just, I never thought we would get an engagement, so I could absolutely be wrong, but it just seems like it's not happening. And to that, I say, we got to move on to something else. I don't want you to go back to the hat storyline. That hat storyline was just dry, and I was not for it, right? If you don't have a storyline, then maybe you just need to be a bone carrier or just be mixy and messy. Maybe that just needs to be your role. But I just do not want to be harassed with this marriage storyline that I just don't believe. I just don't believe it, because she sits down with Charisse and they're talking about prenups and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, I'm pro prenup, right? I am pro prenup. I think in this day and age, I also think, like, for me, I don't think you need to get married. I think you need to get married if you want to, have control of certain assets. If you want, to be there to help your partner out in the end, to have the legal right to make decisions for your partner. If you're, you have homes and, stuff like that, because it's a business, in my opinion. I feel like marriage it's a business. It's a binding contract with you and with you, your partner, and the government. So if you want to get married, right, and you want to make it legal, then I think I would say just do it because of like, monies and properties and insurance. I wouldn't just do it, right? So I honestly get the whole prenup situation. But in my opinion, concerning Robin and Juan, because Robin tells Sharice that she wants Juan to sign a prenup. Two things about that. One, Sharice was like, "Did he make you sign a prenup?" She said, "Yes, because I didn't do anything. I didn't earn his paycheck." And Sharice was like, "You ain't earned his paycheck." And she was like, "Neither did you." And Sharice was like, "Oh, I earned that paycheck," talking about her husband's paycheck. And she was just like, and Robin was like, "Oh no, I just sat home with the kids. I didn't do anything." Let me tell you something right now. I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship. I don't have kids. I am not a stay-at-home mom. But what I do know, stay-at-home moms put in work. Like, have you ever, to the single people, have you ever watched a kid for 5 seconds? You know how exhausting it is to watch a child for 4 seconds? Could you imagine that being your everyday life and doing it with multiple children? Stress, depression. Sorry. I'm not saying that children bring on depression, but I'm just like, I've only been around kids a limited amount of time, and I've always wanted to get out of that situation, right? So I feel like if you're doing that right, you're taking care of multiple children in a home. You're cooking and you're cleaning, you're taking care of bills, you're doing drop up and pick up for the kids, you're getting groceries, you're planning out the meals for the week, you're planning out the clothes, you're doing the hair, because all he's doing is going to work, right? To say that all of the stuff that you were doing to make sure that everybody's life runs smoothly is nothing. That offended me as a woman with no man or child. It was like, excuse me, stay-at-home moms put in work. I'm basically a stay-at-home mom with my mother. Yeah, have you ever had a 62-year-old child? They take a lot of work. So I just could not believe that she, as a woman, could say that about her situation. But I think she was saying that to justify why she wants Juan to sign a contract, because she thinks that he didn't earn this, her Real Housewives, because that's the Robin, let's be real, that's the only asset you got, the Real Housewives of Potomac paycheck. Let me say this about that. Like I said, I'm pro prenup, but Robin, you have the absolute audacity to ask that man to sign a prenup. Excuse you. This is why I don't think you're getting married. Because I do not think that you have the cojones, the chutzpah to walk up to that man and say, sign this prenup because I don't want you to have access to my assets. Girl, remember when you lost everybody's money? You lost the kids' inheritance? Like, girl, I just could not believe that. I literally said, what? When she said that to Sharice. I want to see it. I want to see you look that man in the eye and tell him you want him to sign a prenup. You lucky he didn't sue you for wasting his fortune. Are you kidding me? I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And then to say that Juan did not help you earn your paycheck. Girl, you would not have been on this show had it not been for Juan. Like, are you kidding me? You went into the audition saying that I'm Juan Dixon's wife. You never said that you were Robin Dixon, right? You led with, I'm Ron Dixon's wife. Everybody tuned in because Ron Dixon was appearing on this show with his wife, whose name we didn't even know. So I don't even think that could hold up in the court of law. Because to say that that man did not help you earn your paycheck, I'm sorry. We were all tuning in for the times when he was cussing you out in that home and making you feel like crap, girl. He used to read you down. I'm sorry. That Bravo paycheck, that's a split income. You both earned that. It is not just for you. Juan, don't sign that. Don't sign that. And you know you have had to mess up bad if you got me riding for a straight man. Ciao. Anyway, let's move on. Mia. I don't know what's happening with her. I don't know what's happening because I do know that on Instagram she was asking everybody to pray for her. Can I just say, people are rude? People are so rude. She was on Instagram asking for prayers because her husband's brother locked them out of their accounts or their businesses or whatever, and she doesn't have access to any of her money. And people are like, you want us to pray for you? You got more money than all of us in the comments. Like, everybody was just cussing her out. But anyway, I think that she was already having money problems before it got to Instagram. Because the way she started off this season, the way she introed this season, I was just like, something is off already. Something is off. Just the way she was talking about them moving, and I guess I kind of learned this on the Real Housewives, like watching all these Real Housewives shows. When the women start talking about money and wealth and everything that they have, but they're doing it a little bit too much, it's because they're losing it. They are losing it, and they're trying to make us believe that they have a lot more than they've had previously, right? And specifically, the one that I can bring up right now that is most current is Erica Jane. Erica Jane, the season before everything broke, was like she was about, living her expensive life in the beginning, but she like doubled down on it, and then the next season everything fell apart. I think that they were already fighting about money with her husband's brother when they were filming, like currently, like this premiere episode. I feel like that was already going on because the way she was talking, I was like, you doing too much. Thou protest too much. Something is up. Something ain't right. Anyway, a $10,000 mortgage is absolutely insane to me. To pay $10,000 a month for a place that you are renting, not owning, not being able to get anything out of, a place that you can get evicted from, probably will get evicted from if the brother don't give y'all no money, is absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane to me. Y'all can't get a loan? Y'all can't get a home? Are y'all not really trying to live in Potomac? Or are you just doing this for the show? Or is Bravo footing the check so you were splitting this? So you were splitting the rent yearly with Bravo? That would make a bit more sense because then you're not paying $10,000 a month, right? That would make a bit more sense. So I would probably need a bit more information, but I'm just like, $10,000 out the gate a month, and you're not Jay-Z or Beyonce, something is weird. Something, it just don't make sense for you to be dropping that much money and you don't own this. So that's the thing. Like, it's just weird. Like, we saw you before. You were in like a little medium condo. Now you're in this huge mansion, this estate, and you're paying $10,000 a month. Something is up. It didn't hit me right in my spirit. I'm like, this don't make sense. This don't make sense. You're doing too much for this show, and that's how y'all all get caught up. That's how y'all get caught up. Wendy decides this episode that she wants to open up in a Nigerian bar. I can never say this man's name right because of oh my God, I forgot his name. Oh my God, his name escapes me. But you guys know the YouTuber Alexander Rogers. Patricia Thomas Bailey. Every time I see him, I hear Alexander Rogers saying Patricia Thomas Bailey. Anyway, she decides to open up a bar with him. I will say, Wendy, I felt a little misled when you were talking about the Nigerian bar. First of all, Nigerian bar, I think it's genius. I think it's genius, especially in Chocolate City, right? I think it's a genius idea. But when you were talking to Peter about opening up the bar, it's like, I don't know. How did you guys feel about that? Because as the conversation progressed, it went from Wendy opening this Nigerian bar to then Peter helping Wendy open a Nigerian bar in DC to Peter opening a Nigerian bar in DC, and Wendy is helping partially 20%. Like it was weird. I was like, this started off as your idea, something that you wanted to do in the conversation, right? In the conversation, it was like, this is what I want to do. I want to open up a Nigerian bar. Patricia Thomas Bailey heard me talking about it and wanted to be a part of it. So we're partners. Then it became, it's his bar and she's going to invest in it. I was so confused by the end of that conversation. I was like, so it's Peter's bar and you're just investing 20%? Or you're going to have 20% ownership, but maybe not 20% ownership, because when he told you how much it would be, you got shocked by the price. I'm going to say this. Bravo. We want wealth on these shows. We want wealth on these shows. I love Zen Win. I love Professor Wendy, but her sitting there when Peter said, Patricia Thomas, when Peter said, oh, your investment is going to be $300,000. And she was, you're not me. I would have that reaction. Not you. Like, you are on a show that is about wealthy people in Potomac. Why are you up to 300,000? You should have been like, oh, that's nothing. Actually, I want 50% of my freaking idea. I don't know. It was a very weird situation. And I was like, okay, is it your bar or Peter's bar? What happened in that conversation? Maybe they cut out a lot and we missed a lot, but my God, today. I also, wait a minute. Child, I got an email from LOCKUP. I'll check that later. Anyway, I also want to say about Wendy and these business ventures. I want you to be prepared next season if you start another business venture, because I don't know. It didn't make me feel good as a consumer, knowing that you really have no idea what you're doing with these businesses, right? Because I don't know how you guys feel about stuff like this, but for me, I a lot of times do not want to see the face of the brand just looking like they don't know what the hell they doing. Because for me, if you look unsteady, then I feel unsteady and uneasy about sending you my credit card number or my address, right? Because if you don't know what the hell is going on, if you're confused and shocked at numbers that you should have been crunching before you sat down at this meeting, do I really want to give you my information? Because you know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel secure that she was not quite sure about what she was doing, because she was just like, I don't know if Eddie is going to be okay with that. And then we get a flashback to Eddie letting her know that she knows nothing about the candle business. And I'm like, if the candle business is still, I won't say on shaky ground, but if you're still learning it and you really didn't know what you were getting into in the first place, maybe just focus on that, right? I hope that this bar is storyline or something that will come to fruition later on in the season, because I just want Wendy, I want for you to look like you know what you're doing and that you have the coin to do these things. If not, keep it on the playground. Please don't bring it to us, because I'm just like, you don't know what you're doing and you acting like you ain't got no money. Why are you on this show? 300,000. I'm done. I hate when the black girls do this on these freaking shows. I hate that. Kathy Hilton would have been like, here you go. Like, come on. If you don't got the money, just act like you got the money. Act like you know. Anyway, Giselle's home reveal. Oh my God. Ooh. It's like, I feel like she's trolling us. I feel like Giselle is trolling us, because before we saw the house, she was like, oh, I've just been working really hard. I've been done some remodeling and things are coming together. And then they took us into the house and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, if you're in Atlanta, if you live in Atlanta and you've been to this store, it gives me Tucci's, the unique furniture store. But if Tucci's got addicted to crack, right? It's like, what is the thing? What is your mind? Like, what's going on in your mind when you put this together? Like, it's such a dated home, but it's new, right? It's a newly renovated home that gives old and dusty. It gives, shout out to the geriatric millennials. Remember back in the day when everybody, let's be real, when everybody was appropriating Indian style? Do you remember when everybody had like our bedrooms had like, there was all like Bollywood inspired. It was like orange and purple and gold, and we used to get all of those Indian cloth covered pillows from Urban Outfitters. Do y'all remember that? Everybody had that room. Everybody had that room. And I feel like that's Giselle's room. I feel like she like went to the 90s, ransacked every black girl's a teenage girl, black teenage girl's bedroom, took those designs and just threw them into her home. And I'm just like, we didn't really know what our style was at that time. We didn't know what was going on with us. Like, our minds and our bodies were developing, and we were going through a lot of stuff. We were in a season of transition. That's what this home looks like. It looks like a going out of business furniture store that's transitioning into something else because it was just bought by developers. Like, it just don't make sense. Every room is different. Every room is different. Where are we going? Like, none of the colors flow together. It's just a different room. It's like a bunch of showrooms just put together. Nothing makes sense. And that woman is so proud of this. And I'm like, how can you not see it? How has nobody told you that this home is a mess? It's confusion. It's such confusion. And the purple walls. All I could hear was Candace talking about them purple walls. My God, today, why did you do that? It's terrible. You can hire somebody. Just hire somebody to do the swatching and all of that. Your home needs an exorcism. Oh, it's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Giselle. I love you. Thank God that you are light and you are pretty. If you did not have those two things going on for you, I think your life would be in shambles. Shambles. Because what else could you do? What else? If you could not be pretty and light, what could you do? He looked out for you. He looked out for you. Actually, in this divorce storyline, it wasn't what I wanted. So far, it just doesn't look like what I wanted it to be. When I heard that she was divorcing Michael and then she was doing all those photo shoots like she was auditioning for the Players Club. Do y'all remember that? Like, those photo shoots, I'm like, Ashley, where are you going? Like, what is this photo shoot for? Who's getting these pictures? It was given like the strippers on the cover of a flyer for like the NBA All-Star weekend. Like, those were the pictures that she was putting out. So I'm like, oh, she back with a vengeance. She in them streets, you know. And then we see her and it's like, oh, me and Michael, we're buying a house together. What? You still in business with him? Y'all should be fighting. Like, I don't know. I just expected her to be something else in a different place. And then, you know, just to have her not, I don't know. I got to be honest, not fighting him. I don't know why I wanted her there, but I thought that she was going to be like, F him, F Gollum. I'm ready to move on with my life. He had me, you know, in an attic locked up, but I'm free now. Where the black men? Where the hood? Never mind. But I thought that that's what we were going to get. And it's still like she's with him. And my God, today, it just popped in my head. And I thought that I prayed it away. I thought that I repressed this memory. But when she said, oh, I'm sorry, hold on. There's no amount of money that could make me say this. when she said that she had a coochie craving for Michael. Your coochie is sick. There's no way. I woke up and I had a coochie craving. What the hell is wrong with your coochie? Put it on the altar. Like, what are you talking about? A coochie craving? I couldn't believe she said that. Did you see Karen's face? Karen was like, ugh. I was like, you had a ain't no way. Ain't no way you miss Gollum's penis. There's no way. Girl, that's why I think this is storyline. I don't think that I could believe this. I do, because if this was real, I don't think that even if a woman was faking being attracted to him, could say that she woke up and had a coochie craving for him. There's no way. It just does not make any sense. Don't nobody, no woman or man, crave Michael's has any kind of coochie or a pussy craving for Michael unless you were on your last dime. Unless you're about to get evicted, your stuff is on the front porch, unless you're about to go away for a really long time, you need a good lawyer. That's when your pussy and coochie start craving certain things from certain people, right? That's when that happens. So I don't know if he locked the account so she ain't got no money, but I was flabbergasted. I wanted her to be, I expected for her to be different. So if she's on this coochie craving, me and Michael are amicable. I gotta be honest. I'm talking in terms of TV, right? It's just like, I don't want to see this. Like, keep that. Let's go for something else. Let's speed up to when the divorce gets messy. Because I don't feel like this. A coochie. What in the hell? Like, what happened to your mind? How down bad are you? I would never, even if it was true, I would never voice it. What the hell is wrong with your coochie? Get it a lozenge. Your coochie is sick, mama. Wendy. This is why Giselle's checks clear every time. This is what I want from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. When Wendy went to go hug Giselle, and Giselle was like, don't touch me. She was like, we're not friends. What you do? I was on the floor, and that's why this show will never move on without her, because that was such a good scene, because Wendy didn't know what to do. Wendy was like, oh, I can't. She's like, we're not friends. What you do? Such a black woman. I loved it. That was such a hysterical moment. And this is what I've been trying to get out of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm like, y'all have to go back to that. Y'all have got to go back to the comedy. I'm not saying that Potomac studied them. I'm saying that production team studied the hell out of Nene Leakes. They know what works. And they got that formula. They added to that formula. They mixed that formula up. And they got Potomac. And they know what the hell they're doing over there. I don't know. Maybe when Potomac is on hiatus, that production team can go over and take over the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because they know how to do comedy. And that's what Atlanta is missing. You guys need the fun. You guys need the comedy, because Giselle had me on the floor when Wendy tried to hug her. Mia. I will say, although I think that something is going on with the money, I still think that, Mia will deliver, because she delivered in this episode. Like when Giselle approached her and, was basically saying that she felt like she was faking for sympathy. I will say, I didn't think that initially when I read it. I will say, I didn't want to think that, right? It did seem, a little self-serving, you know what I mean? When you throw things out there to social media in a certain way, when you're a certain kind of figure, it looks suspicious. I will give the ladies that. I will give Giselle and Karen that. It did look suspicious, right? And what was even more suspicious about it was when Mia was like, well, I told my girlfriend that I probably had cancer, and she told me to share with my village. Your village is an Instagram, right? You it did look a little timely, right? For you to share something like that right before the contracts go out. So I'm not going to judge the ladies for being like, that's a little weird. That's a little interesting. I'm not going to judge the ladies for doing that. What I will say is Mia had every right to tell Giselle, F you. F you for thinking that I would play about my health, even if she was. I feel like she had the right to say that because, when it's serious situations like that, to even judge somebody on that or to even voice, like you can have your little, and be like, that's weird. And from what I know of Mia, But when you put it out there and you start discussing it and then bring it to the person and say, we all been talking about you like this and we think that you're faking cancer, she can respond that way. And that's why I think she'll stay on the show because I think Mia fights with everybody. I will say, we talked about it last season. I feel like she gets over things a little quicker with the Alabasta sisters, but I like how she equally fights with everyone or equally gets everybody together. And she's a bit messy. You need a character like that on a TV show like that. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a fun premiere episode. It didn't give as much as you expected from the trailer. And that's where I think Bravo has an issue, right? Has an issue. Because I think that they put out this great trailer and then everybody's looking for the greatness in that trailer, especially on the opening episode and the closing episode. I always, in my heart of hearts, believes that a premiere and a season finale should have your audience glued to the TV, on the floor after, on social media, chatting about everything. I will say, I did not see a lot of chatter about the Real Housewives of Potomac, and a lot of people did not tune in that I expected. I expected over 1 million with how the timeline was craving, at least my timeline was craving, myself as well, craving the return for the Real Housewives of Potomac. I was not expecting for Married to Medicine during a filler episode to get more viewers than Potomac on their premiere episode. So that was a little concerning. Maybe people are watching it later or waiting to tune in when the drama kicks up. I don't know, but I was a little shocked by those numbers. Really, really shocked by those numbers. But I think we're going to have a good season. I think we got a good cast. I don't know yet how I feel about Mia's best friend because she's new. She is eager. And sometimes when you're eager, you fall flat. You fall flat as a friend of. So we'll see. I did see a bit of a Scala, like she didn't have a mic, so you couldn't really hear what she was saying, but she's missed. I enjoyed her on the show. And I love the fact that we had, I believe, is she East African? A different kind of sister on the show. I enjoyed that, but I guess the production team of Bravo said no. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Miss Gigi88 said, I enjoyed the season premiere, maybe because I just missed the ladies. I didn't really watch last season. I agree with you. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It did have, little volleys sometimes. I was expecting more, but that's not going to make me not tune in. I was still shocked by the numbers. Thought they would have been a bit better. Tracy said, I need an AKA to tell me if that's normal to treat a soror like that. Oh, talking about Giselle and Wendy. That's interesting. But if they're in on it, you know what I mean? If they're in on this beef, then maybe. Let me get some older comments. JG said, Wendy jumps from thing to thing. Yes, without properly doing research on anything. It's painfully obvious and looks like she desperately wants to be the it boss chick. That's a good observation. Tiny said, Wendy has relinquished all financial responsibility to Eddie / Idris because he's not only good with money, but a lawyer too. I think you still need to know about the business that you're building. Jimmy G said, Wendy is just randomly throwing ideas against the wall. It's weird. She should have done children education books or something. I agree. I agree. Hey, Double T. Double T said, I felt that hard. I felt that hard left that the conversation took. Wendy is playing in our faces. Oh, you think so? The bombshell blurb said, I think it's her idea, but she needs him to shoulder the bulk of the responsibility because she has no experience. Smart. Smart. But I don't think she went in with that. And then I think she probably, after talking to Peter, realized how much work it was going to be. And then it just switched. But it was just really weird how that conversation flipped so quickly. Miss T said, Wendy almost choked when Peter told her the money. You know I hated that. You know I hated that. I hated it. Miss Brown Sugar said 10K a month for renting doesn't shock me really. Dropping 65K on a rental does though. Oh, Anissa says she had to admit to renting because the internet would have found it out. Probably. I'm just like, maybe it's because I've never been to Potomac, but I'm like 10K a month and rent makes sense for New York City, makes sense for LA. But I'm like Potomac. But again, I've never been there. So that could be it. That could be it. Jimmy G said, Mia bragged about being a boss, now crying that her brother-in-law fired her. I thought she owned everything. See, that's why I'm saying something is up. It's not adding up. It's not adding up. Tracy said, yeah, I will have my attorney call your attorney and work out the details. Yeah, I would too. It's a legally binding contract. You better protect yourself. You better protect yourself. Simply Simone said Mia's all over the place. She really is. Hey, crazy homebody girl, how you doing? Tracy said Juan is going to bang it out with my. Oh, you know what? Miss Brown Sugar said, and quiet as it's kept, often a successful person couldn't get where they are. Come on, without the brain power, the organizational prowess, and to be honest, the appearance of virtue that having a wife brings. Very true. Very true. Tiny says she has the audacity to think she earned that check alone. I couldn't believe she said that. I'm like, I want to see you ask him for that prenup. Now that is TV. That is the TV I want to see. Justin Newtherson said, right, Juan and Michael's interactions were more interesting. Oh my goodness. You know what, Drewski? I am not clicking on that comment, but you are messy. Some people said Ashley's husband being in love with Juan was the best storyline she was a part of. Listen, that was some good TV. The way we were speculating. Shad Pearl said Robin probably didn't help Juan earn his NBA money, but he most definitely helped her Bravo check with their week 8 storylines. He did. He did. Tony said, yeah, even when she was talking about the prenup, she had that smirk on her face, and I didn't believe it at all. I don't believe it at all. Miss Brown Sugar said, I hate the notion that the non-breadwinning spouse doesn't deserve 50%. The other spouse couldn't exist in their space without all of the silent work of their partner. Absolutely. That support helps. That support helps. Hey, Nadi. Nadi said, have you seen that video on Twitter? They did the Bad Girls Club theme song to her showing her house. It really does look like that. Oh my goodness, it does. That's exactly, it's very like I Love New York, Flavor of Love house. That back in the day, y'all know. I don't know why we all had like genie in a bottle rooms. I do not know. Yes. Tracy said Giselle's house is giving luxury outlets mean senior living, senior citizen living. It's so weird. It's so weird. Yasmin said, I can't even recommend that Giselle hire someone to do her decor because I'm sure she likes it this way. There is no continuity. She does it. Shanice, you on to something? You on to something. It's just tacky. Busola said, aren't these housewife shows about the upper middle class playing rich at this point? You're right. You're very right. You are very right, Drewski. To quote Candace, the tear down is still torn down. I know people don't like her, but baby, that $900,000 tear down reigns supreme. That line, baby, it sent me. Sent me. JG said Woody jumps from thing to thing. Oh, I got that one. Hey, Marvina. Marvina said, I read that Martell's wine is the same red you buy at Walmart for $3.59 a bottle at Sutton Farms. I think Sutton something. You know what? They all do it. They all do it. There are a lot of I don't want to call them influencers, reality TV stars, all people who really don't have any kind of business sense, who just got really big off of the internet or off of these reality TV shows when the writer's strike hit. So a lot of them were just thrown into this popularity with all this money and opportunities. So, brands come to them and are just like, hey, could you be the face of this or could you be a face of that? So probably Sutton Farms outsources their wine and just has Martell, do another label or something like that. He probably buys a certain shipment from them and just put his face and name on the wine. That happens all the time. All the time. That's what happened with She by Sheree, right? There is a warehouse that created those garments and it's their brand, not their brand, but it's their garments that they created, and they outsourced it to different buyers. And one of the buyers was She by Sheree. Another buyer was Shein. Another buyer was a personal buyer on Amazon. Happens all the time. All the time. Let me get a couple more, and then we will move into Life After Lockup. Yasmin said, I kept telling people that Ashley isn't about to come out on top in this divorce. She's never been bright. Just because she's well-spoken doesn't mean she has a common sense or street smarts. I hope she's just playing up this character. I hope she's just playing up this character. Miss T said, Ashley isn't really getting divorced. She is just flexing since the prenup is put in order or put in the door. Child, y'all in here chatting. I've missed you guys. Drewski said Giselle is just tacky, and we've had evidence of this in all ways for years. Nothing can be helped. Listen, like the Grand Dame said, I'm glad she's pretty, because that skunk stripe wig, it wasn't even blocked. They just put it on her head with just like the big thick blocks of platinum blonde. I'm like, what is happening? I feel like she's in on the joke. Yakrati said, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. Thank you, Bill. It helps the algorithm and brings more people to this live. Thank you, Yakratis. Thank you so much. Jazzy Go said, it's time for Life After Lockup. Jazzy Go said, I was a little underwhelmed by the season, but it was good. Giselle gets more tacky each season. It's such a mess. It's such a mess. Shrinkage. Stop the bus, said Nikki off topic. But did the curls get a trim, or is that just shrinkage? It's just shrinkage. Actually, I'm about to wash it because when my hair gets like this, it's because I have way too much product in it and my hair can't curl anymore. So it's getting washed as soon as I get off of here. Oh, I got to pick up my iPhone. I'm telling you, I don't rest in LA. I can't wait to get back to Atlanta. Anyway, let's move on to Life After Lockup. So I'm just going to talk about the latest episode. I'm not going to go into the last episode. But I want to talk about this episode because we have the season finale coming up this Friday. This Friday, we will have a live. We will have a farewell felon dating game. And then the following week, we'll get back into it with love during lockup. So let's talk about Taylor and Chance. Taylor and Chance. Let's talk about these two. Chance said that since the season finale is coming up and the show is about to end, let me see how awful I can actually be. And in the latest episode, he asked when him and Taylor went to go check up, get a ultrasound. I know nothing of. I'm telling you, when it's my turn, I'm gonna have to do so much reading. My God, today an ultrasound to check up on their child. He asked the doctor or nurse, I believe, if they could get a paternity test because he's not sure, because he found text messages of Taylor going back and forth, or emails of Taylor writing her ex that she was dating when Chance intercepted the call. So because of that, Chance feels like he cannot trust her, and he thinks that the child maybe is not his because Taylor was spending so much time talking to her ex, who became her ex because she started dating him. He might have had a point if this man wasn't incarcerated, because the more he talked, I was like, are we talking about her boyfriend that's still in prison? Taylor, what did this man do that he's still in prison and Chance got out? What did he do? But anyway, like, we're talking about the guy that's still in prison, and you think that Taylor, who you don't let out of your sight, was able to spend a whole 2 days going back and forth up to that prison to get to sleep with that man long enough in their non-conjugal visits to get pregnant? He's just awful. I feel like he is the kind of guy who gets off on humiliating his partner. I think he knows that Taylor is not bright. I think he knows that Taylor is somebody you can easily take advantage of. And I think he gets off on making her feel small, making her feel less than, and making her feel like she cannot do anything without him. He likes being in control of her, and he likes her having to chase him. So he does these things to make her show her allegiance to him, or her eagerness to submit to him. It's awful. It's abusive. And I never want to see these two on my TV ever again. Let this be the last season of Taylor and Chance Life After Lockup. Moving on. Bobby, Taylor's sister, is back, and she looks healthy. Bobby looks healthy. Bobby, this episode, lets Taylor know that she is moving out of town because she cannot stay clean in this area where they live. Taylor is very upset about that, but Bobby is just like, she has to get out of this environment because this environment sends her back to, her addiction, sends her back to the drugs. And Taylor believes that her sister is running away from her addiction, but she thinks her addiction will find her when she moves out of town. That may be true, but I will say it's good for Bobby to get out of the environment that triggers her. Because in this episode, Bobby said that Chance is somebody, not the full, like he's not the full cause, but he is someone who triggered a lot of issues that she had that made her relapse. And I believe that. I don't think that Bobby is using that as an excuse. I absolutely believe that Chance triggered her addiction because Chance triggered everyone in that home. That home was as peaceful as it could be before that man got in there. From Taylor to Bobby to them kids, everybody's life is in complete chaos because of Chance. Since he has entered their life, it has been a total train wreck. So I believe Bobby when she says that this man triggered her relapse. I believe her. I absolutely believe her. Do you see how those kids react to him? He's a nightmare. He's a tormentor. Like, those kids watched that man verbally abuse their mother to the point where they even had to defend their mother to him. Like, what is going on? But I'm no longer saying that Taylor is a dummy, right? From watching her this episode, I think that there's something up with Taylor. I don't know what it is, but I think there's something with her always acting so childlike. There's something going on there. I feel like this identity that she has, it's either lack of education, or it's either the persona she put on to protect herself from some trauma that she and her sister endured in her home. Because remember, we met the father that Taylor was taking that Taylor was taking care of. Remember, Taylor was taking care of her father and his girlfriend. The father got mad at Taylor because Taylor put her father and his girlfriend out of the home to bring in her sister who was suffering with an addiction. And the father was talking about how he cannot stand Bobby and he doesn't want her to call him if he relapses again. He's sick of her and he feels like she has to hit rock bottom and he's looking forward to it. The father is awful. So I feel like if he's traumatized Bobby in that way, he had to traumatize Taylor as well. So there's something going on. There's something going on there. I do think it's lack of education, but I think that this personality is a trauma response. I'm not sure. I ain't no doctor, but from what I have seen of this woman, there's something going on. Something is going on. Let's move on to Kevin and Tiffany. Well, this was a waste of everybody's time. This couple was a waste of everybody's time. They do not have an interesting storyline. It is very obvious that Kayla and Kevin are just trying to hop from reality show to reality TV show, because one of you sent me this today. Let me check my Instagram to give you credit. But this is from Starcasm. General, it wasn't Nadine. Who was it? It was Perfectly Made 2021. Oh, wait, this is Black Lavender. Black Lavender, you sent this. I didn't know you changed your name. But Black Lavender sent this to me. And this is from Starcasm. It says, Life After Lockup, Kevin and Kayla are appearing on another reality TV show. And here we have Kayla's, in this article, they show that Kayla is, she shared on her Instagram stories that she applied to another reality TV show. It doesn't have a name right now. It's called LH Couples Casting. She applied to that reality TV show with Kevin because, you know, they're just reality TV show hoppers at this point. And they're just looking for a come up. They're looking to become reality TV stars. I'm not mad at anybody getting the bag, but when you do it this poorly, I got to speak on it. The acting from the both of them and Tiffany as well was poor. The storyline was dry. It was weak. It was not interesting. I don't know what they're going to give another reality TV show, but it seems like the casting producer is really interested in the both of them. So they may be on this new reality TV show, but I just think that there is nothing real about this couple or Kayla. I think it's all a forced, terribly acted storyline, and this is another couple I do not want to see again on Love or Life After Lockup. Thank you again for sending me that, Black Lavender. Let's move on to another couple that just, I don't feel like I don't want to see any of these couples. Where is Michael and Sarah? Where is Michael and Sarah and that elderly lady that he got knocked up? Like, where is that trio? I want to see that chaos. I'm sick of Deadbeat and The Undertaker. So anyway, the Deadbeat and The Undertaker and Destiny. I do want to see more of Destiny. She's just good train wreck TV. She really is, because we find out that not only does Destiny have 5 kids, she has 5 children in custody of none of them. Yikes! None of them. And she was like, my kids don't care. Like, I meet them and we hang out. You know, it's fine. We good. I'm like, you're not good. You have 5 children. They're all living in separate homes because you are unfit to care for them. And you're currently pregnant with number 6. And the only stable person in this relationship is in prison. What the hell, Destiny? So we find out that Destiny's husband is locked up back in prison for some drug stuff. I'm like, he was on drugs too. So this baby got a father that's going to be in prison for 4 years because he tested dirty on his when he had to do a parole drug test. They test him regularly or surprise test them, and he tested positive for whatever drug, and they put him back in prison for 4 years. I will say that even though he probably did what he would, got him put in prison for, I'm like, if somebody who is obviously struggling with a drug addiction tests positive for a drug that they've been struggling with and continues to send them back to prison, why would you put them back in prison and not send them to a rehab? Or unless he refused rehab, because I know that's been an option, because I know someone who has been back and forth in and out of prison because of their addiction, and they always have had the rehab option. So unless he refused to go to rehab, this just seems a bit predatory to me. But now Destiny is living with her mom because her husband is in prison for 4 years. And I just want to say this. Destiny is a mother, right? She's a mother because she birthed 6 children now. And she's not even 30. Jesus. Woo! What, girl? What? Anyway, she is a mother now of 6 children. I will say, if Destiny didn't say it, and if I didn't see it, I wouldn't believe that she was a mother. I'm not saying that she can't be a mother and she can't be a good mother. She just don't give mom energy to me. From my observations of her, I would never think that this woman had kids. Even from the way she was holding her child. Where's my bear? Where is my bear? Hold on, let me get my bear. That's my actor. Let me get my bear. Where's my bear? Hold on, I'm getting my baby. Gotta do much better. Oh, I can't find him. I'll use this. Who moved my bear? Oh my gosh. I can't find my bear, but I can find this. So, no shade. I'm not talking about that woman. She can absolutely be a great mom. I'm just saying, from what I saw, it just looked a little weird. So she was holding a baby, right? And she was just like, yeah, she's here. I'm back at my mom's house because, I got to do it by myself. Because I ain't got nobody. But yeah. Baby number 6. Like holding a baby like it was a backpack. I'm sorry. I was like, that's a little nurturing. She just don't have it in her. I've never seen this before in my life. She's just so rough. It's like, you got I've never seen a baby held like that. It was just so prison-y. Like, yeah, the baby here. I'm with my mom. My husband back in prison, and the baby's head is moving every time she's brushing it. I'm like, hold his head up. I don't even have a kid. And I'm like, you got to be a little softer, Destiny. She's so rough. That poor baby was just being twisted all kinds of ways, like just hung upside down. And I'm like, give me the baby. And the mom, I'm like, do you see how she's holding the child? Any mom would be like, lift the head up. Hold it right, cradle it. Like, what are you doing? She can't breathe. Move the sheet down. She was just so rough with this child. And I was like, oh my God. We need another family member to get baby number 6 because Destiny don't know what the hell she's doing. She just don't know. She just has no idea. And then a mom is crying because she's just like, I'm glad, that Destiny is here with me because, she just needs to be stable. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, she needed to be stable 6 kids ago. Why don't you don't feel guilty? You don't feel bad like this is your child. She is a result of you and your husband. Something happened. Why is this woman so rough at 28? What the hell does she see? She was just so rough with that poor child. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, we need another family member to come in and get that baby. I couldn't take it. I could not take it. Anyway, we get to see Deadbeat and The Undertaker. They are bringing their child from the hospital. And I don't care. I'm sick of them. I'm so sick of them. I will say, I didn't know. I don't know. Maybe I was just ignorant, but I didn't know that Sarah was penciling. I knew she was penciling in her eyebrows. I didn't know that she bleached them to match her hair. It makes sense now, but just seeing her with those like platinum eyebrows, I was like, girl, you don't need to look any more like The Undertaker than you already do, mama. It was just like, I was like, oh, that's Sarah. That's Sarah. And the Deadbeat. My God, today. Enjoy. Listen, all jokes aside, Sean, do right by this child. Do right by this child. I mean, this is what, number 7? Ay. This is number 7. Do right by 7. You got it wrong 6 times. Try to get it right this time. And the sad thing about it is, even if you get it right with number 7, this still won't be a win for you because the 6 will be watching how you treat 7 and being envious of 7 and mad at you because they didn't get that same, love and affection. Queen Kelly, why did you let him shoot up the club 6 times? Girl, I love you, but you got to take some responsibility for this because, after the first child he didn't take care of, why did you let him come back 5 more times? We got to take responsibility. We got to take responsibility at some point. But Deadbeat, do right by child number 7. I hope this is the last time that I see you on my TV. You are too old. You are too old to be on TV with these storylines about how you are in love with women in prison and you don't take care of your kids. At some point, you have to have shame. At some point, you got to be embarrassed. At some point, please don't come back on my TV. Please don't come back on my TV. Child, let's get into it. Now, we've had fun. Now it gets dark. Let's move on to Branwen and Chaz. What the hell is happening here? What the hell is happening here? First of all, that man that Branwen was talking to on the phone and this ex that she was talking up, and she was just like, oh, we had a really good time. Your relationship was rough at times. It was a bit toxic. But there's love there and he really cares for me. And I may still have feelings for him. And he's coming to see me and I'm nervous. All right. I'm going to tell you right now. I did not expect that man to look like that. I didn't. This ex that she was talking about, and maybe it's because I see you differently, Branwen. I just felt like this guy that you know what? Why did I think that he would be hotter than the other dude that was on heroin that you was in love with? Like that dude was fully cracked out and she was still getting moist. Fully cracked. His hands were enlarged because he was shooting up in his hands. And you know how I learned that? Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis raised me. So I'm like, how you still getting moist for this guy? He is clearly jaw on the other side and she getting moist. So I don't know why I expected better from her, but girl, But girl, listen, step back from your computer screens or your TV. Step back. It's about to be Halloween in here. I was not expecting this man to look like this. I just wasn't expecting it. Hold on. I was just like, there's no way that this is him. There's no way that this is the guy that you were going crazy and talking up. She talked this dude up for episodes. So when he finally walked in, I was like, what in the Halloween? What is happening? What is happening here? I kid you not, full on jump scare. Full on jump scare. The way I set up in my couch, I was like, absolute, that's not him. That's not him. This dude walks in and Branwen goes, girl, what? Get off them drugs. Get off them drugs. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. Hey. No way. No way, Branwen. Oh my gosh. There has to be a billionaire who watches this show who was like about to die and just wants a young woman to make him feel good that could change this woman's life. I can't believe that this is the options. She was twisted over this man. Oh my goodness, look at these prison tattoos. One of them is fading because they don't use the proper ink in prison. Oh my God. Where does he work? Where does he work? A white man with all these tattoos on his face and no eyelashes, and his name is Yola. Where does he work besides a Philadelphia Wendy's? That's the only place he could work, and he'll probably be either a cook or a janitor. Branwen, oh my God, you have such good genes. That skin is holding up. Oh my goodness, that skin is holding up through you being Caucasian. No shade. We got to be real. After a certain age, y'all start looking a little different. But the skin is holding up through being Caucasian, through being on heroin, and through being on prison in 11 years. You still look good. What are you doing? Oh my God, get away from Dorinda Clark Huger. Get away from them friends that don't mean you no good. Get your daughter and get some kind of stability. I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe that this was the guy. Oh my God. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. She back on them drugs again. She back on them drugs again. Look at this ponytail. Look at this ponytail. This is such, I don't want to say it, but the ponytail is giving crack. My God, today. She is back on them drugs. The eyelashes, I thought they were too heavy. She can't keep her eyes open. I don't know why I was rooting for her, but I was. She just looks so healthy. You know what I mean? When she got out of prison, and now to see her like this, I'm like, girl, I'm glad she got away from Chaz, right? But I want her away from everybody. She needs to leave that town. She needs to leave that state. Get off of Facebook. Block everybody on Instagram. You need to start over, and you can do it. Please, while your teeth are still holding up, while your skin is still holding up, get out of this, because I feel like you're going to be at the point of no return soon. Anyway, her and Chaz officially break up this episode. I will say, I am glad that she got away from Chaz because he was just weird and creepy. And he's also very nasty and mean to her, right? Like when he doesn't get his way, he just like he switches and he becomes so nasty. Like when he brought her the divorce papers, he was, trying to reconcile with her, I guess. And when she was just like, oh, just God, I don't want to be bothered. It's all right. He was like, okay, here you go, sign them. And then he leaves and he's just like, oh, I want her back in prison. I want her back in prison today. I hope she goes back to jail. And he's like cussing at her or whatever. And then he comes back and he's just like, oh, I really wanted this to work out. I can't get over you. I can't quit you. And Brandon's like, we're over. Go. And he's like, oh, we're over. Then I don't want to be. And like, just starts going crazy all over again. And I'm just like, you're talking about how she's the problem. She obviously is suffering with an addiction. What's your issue? What's your issue? You're just entitled, mean. It's giving Rumpelstiltskin. It's giving Rumpelstiltskin. You're entitled, mean little man. That's who he is. That's exactly who he is. And I'm so happy that Brandon exposed him. She was just like, he's talking about how he doesn't like my ads. He loved them in the beginning. That's how he met me. I was like, ooh. She was like, oh, he loved the ads. He thought they were so sexy when he was getting them. When he was responding to him, he loved the ads. Now, all of a sudden, he don't like the ads anymore. Now I'm trashy because of the ads. That's how you met me. That's how you found me. And you loved them in the beginning. But on this show, he's acting like that's beneath him, that he would never do something like that, right? And that's something we constantly see on Life After Lockup when it comes to the men. What the hell was that? Mom. Girl. And that is something that happens when it comes to the men on this show who are going after women who are incarcerated, especially women who have prostituted for their addiction or prostituted just for survival, right? That are incarcerated. Those men specifically go after those women, right? But then when they get on the show, it's, oh, we started out as best friends. Absolutely not, weirdo. You were sending her pictures of your penis. Right? You were telling her to send her your used panties so you could sniff them and eat them for breakfast. Stop it. Y'all get on the show and y'all try to act like y'all these middle American men who are being taken advantage of by these mean, crack addicted whores in prison, when really you are the creepy weirdos who are feeding their addiction. Stop playing. We see you, Chaz. We see you because Brandon exposed you. Get some help, sis. I'm so sad. You got a daughter that loves you. Get some help. Get clean and get away from that toxic friends group. And do not yet let Yola touch you. Happy Halloween. What the hell? How many people did he kill? How many people did he kill? What is this? 1, 2, 3, 5 bodies. 5 bodies. You too old, Brandon. You at your big age, you were in your 40s. You cannot be dating this. This cannot be an option. Do better. You were in your 40s. That skin is still holding. And if you're on drugs, you're not worried about no damn sunscreen, and your skin is still holding. Don't play with that. Don't play with that. You are at the point of no return, mama. Get some help today. Thank you, Rashana, for the super chat. Rashana said the outfit, lace Hot Topic plaid and Burberry plaid. And then did you see the pumps that she could barely walk in? I feel like this is another Clinton Tracy situation. Because remember, Clint was the rich kid who was making it seem like Tracy was the problem. And then we find out that Clint had a little crack addiction himself. I think Chaz's addiction is coochie, and coochie that needs help. Oh, get some help, sis. Get some help. Brittany and Marcelino. Brittany and Marcelino, let's be real. Who believed this? None of us. None of us believe this. We don't believe that y'all are having problems. I mean, why every season when y'all don't have nothing to talk about, y'all turn it on Marcelino? If it's not Marcelino, it's Brittany's family that's struggling with addiction, right? So I feel like every season it's a one-off. I feel like if they come back next season, it's going to be about Brittany's father who's addicted to heroin. And it's going to be a season of her trying to save him. I feel like that's what they do. If Brittany is not saving her family from meth, she's saving Marcelino from some kind of addiction. Remember when he was addicted to gambling? Now he's addicted to sex. What is the next addiction going to be? It's like, y'all have to do better. You have to get a bit more creative with your storylines. We did say that we don't want to see Brittany saving her family from meth anymore. We meant that. Y'all got to come up with something else, because what is Marcelino going to be addicted to next season? Eating a couch. Remember that show? Do y'all remember that show? My Weird Addiction, where people were like eating couches. If we come back next season and Marcelino is eating the stuffing out of a love seat, I'm not reviewing that show. I'm sorry. At that point, they have jumped the shark at that point, and I can't do it. I cannot do it. It's like, y'all gotta come with something believable, or just, don't come back. I can't do it anymore. I have not believed anything that they have done this entire season. I love them, but I just don't believe this storyline. The only good thing that I could say about Brittany and Marcelino this season is that Brittany is wearing this ponytail. Let me tell you something. This ain't no regular drawstring ponytail, sweetie. This ain't no regular drawstring ponytail. This is that good stuff. She got a nice, good quality drawstring ponytail, and I appreciate the effort. She put in work. She jammed her hair down. She did not give herself any edges because she didn't want to get cussed out. But this drawstring ponytail has been holding all season. It looks good on her. That's the only good thing I can say about this couple. Outside of that, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I will say, Brett, you're my girl. But I have a problem with you. When people who were in a destitute situation, while they were in that destitute situation, made certain decisions that Christian society, the Christian American society looked down upon, when they move on from that or get out of that situation and they're no longer destitute and they're no longer doing those things, they turn around and become the same judgmental demons that they were fighting off of when they were at their lowest of the low. So Brittany is going through Marcelino's phone, and she's finding that, he's seeing a lot of, women of the night, escorts, prostitutes, sex workers. He's seeing a lot of sex workers. The way Brittany was talking about these women, Brittany, I think you forgot that you told us that you used to hoe for heroin. I think you forgot that. I'm not here to remind you, but I am here to say you are no better. You are like, how dare you talk about these women? Now I get you're mad that your husband is stepping out on you, but to speak about sex workers in such a way, like you weren't just one a few seasons ago. Like, you are no better. That used to be you. I would say talk about the fact that you can't believe that your man is doing something like that. But don't talk about the sex workers who are just doing their job because they were probably in the same situation that you are. Nobody supporting them, no financial income coming in, can't really get a job, don't have the education to do so, from a poor community, from a low income community, grew up on Section 8 and food stamps, and is trying to give themselves and probably their children a better life, and are making certain decisions because this quick cash is long, right? Because men will always pay for puss, right? So that was my only issue. I just did not like how she was talking about the women, and then the things that she was saying about the madam. And I'm like, you had a pimp before. You were a pimp. Remember, you was telling us about the pimping that you used to do back in the day. Like, you are no better than these people. Just because now that you're on the TV show and you're a pseudo celebrity in Las Vegas and you got a nice house and you got your white picket fence and you got your husband and your kids, that don't mean that you and a Hollywood madam ain't on the same level. She had to make that decision just like you had to make that decision. So that was the only thing that bothered me about that. I'm like, how did you meet your husband? How did you meet Marcelino? Because the more and more y'all talk, them letters that y'all was sending back and forth was getting a little spicy. Remember how y'all was talking about how when y'all see each other, the things that y'all gonna do to each other, and Marcelino was telling you how he gonna eat you out in the shower. Do you remember that? And you were so nervous because you realized that you had to deliver on the illusions that you were writing to this man in prison when you met him in person. And you weren't comfortable doing it. But you did it for provision. Get the mote out your eye. Those who live in glass houses. Anyway, Puppy and Amber. Ciao. Puppy and Amber. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about, because I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts. My first thought is this. You guys can figure this out for me, because again, I've never been with child, and I, because I have never been with child, I have never miscarried, so I don't know. But Puppy and Amber get into an altercation, and I mean, it wasn't a full body beat down, but Amber did have to have her hand removed from Puppy's neck, pushing that pregnant woman's body back, while everybody is pushing everybody around, trying to get Puppy off of her, Amber off of her. Right after that, and listen, we don't know the timeline, so it's probably not right after, but not too long after that, Puppy miscarries. Was Amber responsible? Was Amber responsible? Because I'm like, the last time that we saw you and Amber were in a whole altercation. I don't know if Amber was responsible, but I will say Puppy didn't care, because she was the one who reached out to Amber. She was like, hey, I haven't heard from you. Yeah, you haven't heard from that heifer since she assaulted you when you were pregnant. Like, why are you calling her and not the cops or her parole officer out there? But like, oh, she put hands on me. She attacked me and my child, baby. But me, there's no friends after that. I told y'all, I cannot be friends with nobody that put hands on me. I don't care how good the friendship was. I don't care, what we have gone through and how many storms we have weathered. You put your hands on me, the friendship is done. And every time I see you, I'm going to try to get my lick back. Every time I see you on sight. How dare you? But she calls her and she's like, I haven't heard from you. And Amber's like, what you want? Girl, you assaulted a pregnant woman. You assaulted the What? I'm on the wrong planet. Like, how do you have an attitude after the pregnant woman that you choked out calls you and it's like, what's up, friend? You should have been the one calling her. You should have been apologizing right away. You too busy trying to salvage that relationship with that man who, I'm sorry, Amber, I don't think he's that into you. You calling that man the love of your life, and every time he sees you, he seems annoyed. That man seems annoyed every time he's with Amber. I've never seen him smile. I've never seen him look happy, and Amber is just so in love with him. You need to date outside of what you're used to. Because like I said, I feel like Amber is attracted to white men who look like they were in a white supremacist prison gang. Like, that's her thing. That is her thing. I don't know why, but that right there gets the reproductive system going for Amber. She loves it. Like, if you look like you a former skinny, child, if you got a swastika branded on your arm in prison, Amber is ready to take you home, girl. Like, I don't know, but that is like her thing. But I feel like you need to go after somebody who is a bit more into you, because I don't think he's into you. And even when you were telling him about having kids, he was like, Why, women? Why do you do this? If ever you bring up children in a relationship with a man and he jumps back like he's afraid or annoyed or disgusted, don't proceed in the relationship if you want children. Like, you bring a marriage and children and he rolls his eyes and leans back and you got to force that man to kiss you. Why do you still see husband and father? Like, she was in her confessional, I would love to give him a child. Why? He don't want one. He was like, I'm in my 40s. I don't want a baby. And Amber is crying about giving him a child. Y'all, like, I won't even say that this is not communication, because he communicated. He communicated that he didn't want that. So he told you, and you're like still trying to give him a baby. He's like, my youngest is 20. What am I going to do with a newborn? This is not what I'm trying to do. But in her mind, I guess she heard I got the green light to get this man a family. So anyway, Amber later finds out, because she's hanging out with her roommate. Listen, WeTV, Amber's roommate is the best thing that ever happened to this show. She is the comic relief this show needs. She is just naturally hysterical. Every time she's on my screen, I am cracking up in tears. So her and Amber are talking, and Amber's like, yeah, I'm just not, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good. I'm just not, I'm wheezy. I'm not drinking because of my, my liver issues, but I haven't been feeling like myself. And the friend was like, you ain't feeling like yourself. And Amber's like, yeah, that's what I said. I ain't feeling like myself. And she's like, girl, you might be pregnant. She's so animated. Amber was like, no, I'm not pregnant. Like, if I'm pregnant, if I'm not pregnant, you gotta give me $5. She's like, go take that test, because you sound like you're pregnant. So she goes and takes the test, and she took like 3 pregnancy tests. Did a PA go get the pregnancy test, or did you have like 3 pregnancy tests just hanging around in your home? Anyway, so she takes them, and Amber is pregnant by the man who don't want kids. So she goes to the doctor, and she's a little alarmed because the doctor says, well, yes, you are pregnant. They gave her an ultrasound and everything. And they were like, well, it's going to be a bit risky. There may be some health risks because you do have a previous liver issue. And then Amber calls her mom and tells her mom, I will say this in defense of her mom. If people are mad at her mom, in defense of her mom, the way Amber told her what the doctor said her was a bit more elevated. And her mom was like, oh no, get rid of that baby. We want to save you. Like, she's like, I would love to have a grandkid, but not at the expense of my daughter, which to me, I was like, that made sense, especially how Amber told the story, what the doctor told her to her mother, right? The mom was crying and everything. So then Amber's in her confessional, and she's crying because she doesn't know what she's going to do with her child, because she thought that she could not have kids anymore, because the last time she miscarried, the doctor told her that she just could not have children anymore. Like, it would be impossible. So that's why she was having unprotected sex. Well, I ain't going to give you that excuse, but she was having unprotected sex, I believe, because she thought that she could not have children. Side note, why are there so many unfit doctors? There are a lot of women who doctors have said could not have children and end up with triplets and all kinds of kids. Like, wait a minute, that mofo was lying to me. But it does happen often, and that's concerning. Anyway, so we leave off with Amber in her confessional crying because she doesn't know what she's going to do, because she wants to give, TC children, and she wants to have a baby with him because he's the love of her life. And I'm like, I heard something different when he talked to you, but if this is what you think this man wants, yikes. I hope the cameras are there when you break the news to him. That man rolled his eyes at the idea of having a child with you. Knowing that idea is a reality, baby, I need Andy in the camera. Run it. We need to see it, because I don't think that Amber is going to get the reaction that she wants. I don't know. I don't know what the outcome of this will be. I will say this show was full of roughneck mamas. So what's one more? What's one more? But I will say, if Puppy has an issue with Amber being pregnant, I'll let it slide. I'll let her have that moment, because I mean, how could she not feel some sort of way? How could she not feel some sort of way about, Amber being pregnant after she had a child and miscarried after she got into an altercation with Amber? If Puppy feels any kind of way, I'm gonna let her have that. I'm gonna let her have that. That's all I want to talk about this show. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Is that the last? Oh, wait a minute. That's not. Brittany and Ray. Let me talk about Brittany and Ray real quick. And real quick means I have two things that I want to say about them. The first thing is, what is the timeline of this couple? What the hell is the timeline? Because they're about to get married. And I'm like, hold on. We were just there for the proposal. Then Brittany's dad didn't give his blessing. So now then we went to the bachelor and bachelorette parties, and now the parents are meeting and the dad gives his blessing. So is the wedding the next episode? Is that the season finale? What is the timeline of Brittany and Ray? And if you guys have been covering them for 6 months and this is all you have, no shade. I love this couple, but don't bring them back because they obviously have nothing going on aside from Brittany's Peter Pan boots. Remember those Robin Hood boots that she had on in the year of our Lord 2022? But that's pretty much all this couple has going on. And I'm like, listen, you guys are good. That doesn't make for great reality TV. We got to have conflict. We got to have drama. We got to have comedy. Y'all don't have none of that collectively. So something, I don't want to say something has to go wrong, but something got to go right. In the sense of entertainment for this couple, for them to be palatable next season. And I just don't see it happening. I just do not see it happening. I like them. I think they're the real deal. I think this is real love. I love love. I especially love Black love, but I just do not see them being an interesting storyline next season. What are we going to get? What are we going to get? We have been watching them this entire time, and they just got engaged and now they're about to get married. What else do they have going on? Obviously nothing. If a proposal, a denial, a parent sit down, a parent exception, and now a wedding is happening. They only have 6 events? And yet we have been watching them since the freaking summer? No, I'm sorry. Middle of the damn summer. No, I'm sorry. They just aren't given enough. But congrats to those two. I'm glad that they are, in a healthy relationship. I'm glad that Ray got the blessing to marry Brittany. But you guys are good. So maybe, let's stay home next season. Unless you got something going on. That's interesting. You have to realize this is a reality TV show. You are playing a bastardized, let's be real, a bastardized character of yourself. You have to be entertaining. And y'all just in love, and that's good, right? This is life after lockup. Where's the chaos? That's all I wanted to say. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into maybe she on. Asadu said, "Hi, Nikki. Finally catching on live after a departure for Senegal. Hey, can't wait for the Real Housewives of Potomac review." Oh, scroll up. Just rewind, my love. Thank you for being here. I saw too. That Tamaria, exactly. Why do you have 3 pregnancy tests in your home? What's going on? Jotley said, "Today is my birthday, and I'm so happy that this is my V-Day gift." Oh, happy birthday! Wait. Oh, I don't have my tambourine. We'll do the Stevie Wonder one. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Judley. Happy birthday, Judley. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, my love. It wasn't Stevie, but it was, close. Dr. M said, "There are so many causes of miscarriages, and we can't be sure that Amber caused it. Pregnancy and miscarriage is a broad topic. What trimester was Puppy? In the first?" Yeah, see, that's the thing. We don't know. I was honestly asking because I don't know, but I'm like, the last time we saw them, she was in a whole altercation. And then after that, so I don't know. But, Dr. M let me know. It could be a lot of things. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nicole said, where did them boobs come from with Amber? And I think she's full on pregnant. I think she's full on pregnant. Because that a lot of times they do the confessional after the show. So I think she is full on pregnant. That's why she's the only one who's in her confessional that looks alert. Everybody else has been drinking. She's the only one that has not. And it's not just because of her liver. I think it's because she's pregnant. Because she's full on titties. Miss T said, Brittany was so pissed she got a tattoo and forgot about her kids. Oh, Chow. Rashana also said, oh, that's 100% her hair, because her real hair would be too thick to fit under where it's gathered. That's her hair? Oh, that's a good little ponytail then. Go ahead, Brittany. Did you see the episode? She titty punched her. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. She punched that woman in the titties and she went down. I didn't expect for her friend to get up and run across the street and cry. I was like, weren't y'all in prison together? You don't know how to fight? That was weird to me. That she didn't fight her back. Miss GG88 said, OMG, I remember my strange addiction. That show was so weird. One girl was eating laundry detergent. Yes. Oh, yes, Stella. I love them too, but they're better off the show. They really are. No hate, but they're better off the show. Me too. Because those pumps was already shaking, Miss T. Already shaking. Yes, Rashana. Yes. Chaz and Brand wouldn't give me Mike and Jimena. Absolutely. From 90 Day Fiance. Absolutely. Wendy said, Chaz is the guy at the club you got to watch out for. Can't take no for an answer, but wants to be seen as a nice guy. Yep. I did. She knows I'm on live. I'm actually trying to listen. This is the thing. My mom is from a different generation. So trying to get her to do this live with me. I wanted her to do Potomac with me, but trying to get her to come in and, click the link. And it was too stressful. I'll work on it for next week. But my God, today, it's been a task trying to get her to zoom in to do a review. Let me get some more. I'm going to get a few more, and then we're going to move into a Nene. Sly Cat said, I'm trying to figure out why these sexually active females who don't use birth control never consider that they may be pregnant. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because they're doing everything they probably shouldn't be doing. And it's just like, I can't be pregnant. Look at everything that I was doing. The way Puppy drinks, she did not possibly think that she was pregnant. Did not possibly think that she is pregnant. Sly Cat said, it's just too suspicious for me for Amber and Puppy to be pregnant that close together. Really? But again, we don't know the timeline, right? We don't know the timeline because look at Brittany and Ray's timeline. We got a proposal and now we're getting a wedding in the same season. That's weird. Maybe that's why. But I'm like, we're having bachelor and bachelorette parties. Hold on. What's happening? What is the timeline? What is the timeline? Wendy, it has. This is the thing. I'm so glad you brought it up. Wendy says, had the Discord been made for the 16-week challenge, I paid off my Japan trip and finally sent off my application for my passport at NikkiStar TV. It has. Listen, I started this challenge. I did not know that I would be booked and busy and have to come back to LA for work. So I've been discombobulated for these last few weeks. So I have not been on the Discord like I need to be. But listen, we still got love during lockup, so we're going to keep it trekking. But what I wanted to do, what I will do, is at the season finale, I'm going to leave everybody who did the challenge, I'm going to leave everybody time to shout out what they accomplished thus far. Because, and I say thus far, because we're going to keep it going for love during lockup. So I am going to, let everybody have that time so we can shout out and we can, congratulate everybody who was able to start, finish, or at least get to the middle of something that they've been wanting to do for a very long time and finally did it during this challenge. Thank you for asking, Wendy. Thank you for asking. Dr. M also said, so Amber has a previous history of liver issues. Miscarriages, past health failures, influence can contribute to it. I hate that some doctors don't take time to explain things simple to people. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Realities TV, Brown Girl Perspective, what's up? That's all right, Dustin. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Me too. Me too, Marvina. Every episode. I miss her. What is going on? Is it because they moved to Africa? We can't get a film crew down there. I loved her in Lamar. That family was so chaotic and fun. That was a comic relief, and we miss it. We need it back on this show. We need it back on this show. Thank you, Miss T, for the super chat. Miss T said, what about Lindsay and the street fight? There was a street fight? I did not see that. See, I have to watch this on YouTube TV. So if something, they don't give us was it one of those like one-off little pieces of the episode, or was it within the episode? Because I didn't see it. I'm probably going to have to go on the website and watch it. I did not have that in my episode. I watched it on YouTube TV and it wasn't there for me. I'll watch it online to see if I missed anything, and then we'll talk about it in the next review. But thank you, Miss T. Let's move on to... hold on. Welcome to a NikkiStar TV Live. Ooh. Let's move on to Miss Nene Leaks. Let's move on to Miss Nene Leaks. So recently, Nene's son, Brent, had a heart attack and stroke at the same time. She's been, doing her best to care for him. And not too long ago, I think like 2 or so days ago, she put out a video to let everybody know what was going on with Brent and where she was at in the process. So I wanted to play that for you, and then we'll discuss it.
2 weeks ago today, Brent had congested heart failure and a stroke. He's only 23, so he's really young for something like that to happen to him. The first thing, a lot of doctors think of when someone that age come in with that kind of condition is maybe they have done drugs, or maybe they have some serious infection, maybe HIV or some sort of infection is what I'm being told by the doctors. Brent doesn't drink or do drugs. And obviously they've tested him for all of those things. They also tested him for HIV. They were thinking that maybe he had caught COVID and he didn't know that he had COVID. They did see, the doctors are saying they did see some things like that happen if they caught the Delta variant, and he never knew he had COVID. I've never known him to have COVID. So they have run a number of tests on him to see what could have possibly made this happen to him. And we are still trying to figure out, because if we knew the cause, obviously they could treat the cause. It was very scary. I don't even want to go into details of what happened and how I found out and what condition he was in. Obviously a stroke is a very serious thing, and so he's struggling, with speaking, and it's I don't know. Just know that keep us in your prayers. Keep Brent in your prayers. So many people texting and emailing me about the lounge. The lounge is still open. Brent ran the lounge. That was his pride and joy. He loved it. It is still open. The managers are still running it with the regular hours. We have, sat and talked about selling the lounge now, because it's something that Brent runs along with me, and I got into business with Brent and Greg and some other friends to do it. And this is just a lot right now on me. So if there's anybody out there that's possibly interested in the lounge, send them my way if they are interested in purchasing it. It's very possible that we will sell the lounge, because it is something that I shared with Brent after Greg's passing. 2 weeks ago today,
so yeah, that's a lot. Wow. I will say, first off, prayers to Brent at 3 years old to have a heart attack and a stroke. My God, today. Prayers to that young man. I am praying that he has a swift and safe recovery. Prayers out to Nene, and lots of love sent her way. That is not an easy thing to have. I believe your only child go through something like that right after you lost your husband. The woman is going through it. There is nothing that you can, say about something like that. It's just so terrible. And you can see it in her face. You can tell that she's been crying. And unfortunately, when you are a public figure and you shared so much of your life, not saying that this is something that she had to do. I think she felt the need to do it because everybody's asking, right? You can't get any peace because everybody, wants to know what's happening, because, bloggers and magazines and gossip sites or whatever are releasing this information. So it's best to get ahead of it and put out the right information. But what a sad thing to have to clear up. What a sad thing to have to clear up. I will say, this is why I don't play with that Covisha. This is why I had a meltdown when I came back from Mexico, because nobody knows what the hell this thing is. Everybody, it's like a flu. You know nothing, Doogie Howser. This is nothing to play with. And, somebody who the doctors are assuming, nobody knows for sure. It could be something else. But the doctors, like how she said, are assuming that it could be from COVID because, that is something that has been happening and affecting young people who have endured something like that. I remember when I got it, my doctors, sorry, family, because I haven't told anybody with my family about this, but my family my doctors were watching me and observing me and checking in on me daily because they thought that I might, have a stroke or a heart attack. Like that was something that was concerning, because that is something that has been happening with younger people who just, don't really have really bad symptoms. Like I had like one day and that was it, but I was still being monitored because this virus or whatever it is, especially the Delta, is one that plays on your immune system. And when your immune system is not working correctly, everything just starts malfunctioning. So stuff that was working is no longer working anymore because the thing that was keeping it together is being attacked. So that was a really scary time. And when I'm telling you, when I was watching this and she said COVID, I was like, yep. Yeah, like, I don't know if that was it. I do not know, but I was just like, I could identify with that because that was something that I was being monitored for when I had Covisha. So it's nothing to play with. I'm glad that if that is something that he was dealing with, that they are properly treating, probably properly treating it to make sure that he gets the care that he needs. But listen, keep your mask on. Okay. Until we figure out what this thing is, it's just nothing to play with and nothing to be laxed about. Do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. But praise up for Nene. Praise up for Brent. This is just, when I saw that video, I was like, my God, today, that woman is dealing with so much right now. 23 years old. 23. And if anybody has like any opposition to her selling the Lethea lounge, and the only reason why I'm saying that because when my mom heard it, my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, no, she should keep it. I love that place." And I'm like, I get it, but she even said it in the little clip. She was like, "This is a lot for me right now." She's taking care of her son, her 23-year-old son, who she's helping learn how to speak again. She can't run that business. She can't do that. So I think that's a smart business move. Don't even give it away temporarily. I know that's Brent's baby. You can build something else. Get that off your shoulder because you have so much going on. But prayers up for the both of them. It's really upsetting. Hello?
Hi, are you on live?
Yes, I am, Mom.
Okay. I was trying to go on live. I couldn't get it.
I know. Well, I'll help you. I'll help you work through it when I get off of here, and you'll be able to come on next time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
What I tell you? What I tell you? She's trying to get on, but I literally have to FaceTime her and walk her through it. My sister's there, so I'm gonna have my sister like help her figure out technology because it's a lot. It's a lot. She's like, I'm trying to get on, girl. And I will say this about Lindsay and Deontay. I did see that what you guys are talking about when he threw the letters. I did see that. The only reason why I didn't talk about it was because I just didn't believe it. It just seemed very fake to me with the letters. I honestly have to tell the truth. And I love Deontay. Like, he is somebody who does watch my reviews. He does promote this channel. I will always give that man props. But I never believed his relationship with Lindsay. It always felt fake and forced to me. I felt like it was the show putting together two, big personalities or people who brought a lot of traction to the show, putting them together to try to make something work, and their chemistry was just off. So yeah, I saw that. I didn't think much of it. Didn't think much of it. It's a lot going on with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's a lot going on right now with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Before I go into it, hey, Jolene is here. Hey, sis. Jolene said, I get it. I go through this with my mom every week. This was my greatest fear when I had to come back to LA. I was like, oh my gosh, I am going to have to like help because like I'm there so I can help her with everything, but I'm going to now have to help her with everything by way of phone. It's already frustrating in person, but now on the phone, my God, today. Since we're talking about it, let's move on to the last thing that we want to talk about. Cynthia and Mike Hill. Are they together? Are they not together? There have been rumors circling that Cynthia and Mike Hill are no longer together, that they're living separately, and that divorce is on the horizon. I'm going to hold my thoughts about it, but I do want to read this article from All About the Tea. And the reason why I'm reading the article, from All About the Tea is because every other site that I read basically pulled from this article and did not give them credit. So maybe that's something you want to look into, All About the Tea. Specifically Radar Online. They did not give you the credit. You know what? Let me stop being messy. Anyway, it says Cynthia Bailey and Mike Hill are divorcing after he's spotted with a mystery woman and ringless. The Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Cynthia Bailey and husband Mike Hill might be headed for divorce sooner than fans think. Cynthia and Mike got married in 2022 at the Governor Ball's Town Club in Georgia, but it appears that the couple is having a few problems in their marriage. October 10th marked their anniversary, but neither said anything on social media. Yikes. Cynthia and Hill's silence sparked the speculation on Twitter that the couple is separated. One person said, guys, did Cynthia and Mike split up? She is no longer Cynthia Bailey on Instagram. Another fan on the thread pointed out she has pictures of him on her Instagram, but not recent ones. You may have to go back to April, but it's their anniversary and there's nothing. This is sad. She actually seemed happy. Bravo fans also posted a recent video of Mike Hill where he wasn't wearing his wedding band in the clip. In the clip, the sportscaster had a mystery woman holding on to him as she did a flip. Mike, who was loudly cheering with the woman, gave her a high five with the impressive stunt. I saw the clip. It did not look like it was much, and I didn't post it here because it's extremely pixelated and it won't show up clear. But I didn't really see anything that would give me any kind of alarm. On Cynthia's Instagram page, she still has photos of Mike. However, the last post was in April of this year. In 2021, Cynthia and Mike denied claims of infidelity in their marriage. A woman had come forward on Twitter claiming that Hill had sent her photos of his penis on Snapchat. The woman deleted the account and all the receipts she had posted. Cynthia told TMZ at the time that the rumors were not true and were just annoying. When speaking to Page 6, Cynthia said that her decision to leave the Real Housewives of Atlanta had a lot to do with her wanting to protect her marriage. Cynthia said, I'm very protective of my second marriage because, I really want it to work and I want to do everything that I can to protect it and to protect Mike. That is the end of the article. I like the both of them. I told you guys, I met Mike. I did an interview on his show, and I met him before the interview and after. My sister knows him, and she's worked with him producing wise, and he's just a really sweet guy. He's a really good guy, just really good, made sure, I felt comfortable with the interview before we even went on. A lot of interviewers do not do that. Was just a good guy, really encouraged me, gave me some words of wisdom after, was really supportive. And I don't want to believe anything like this about him. I hope that this is not true, because not only is this something that Cynthia really wanted and really wanted it to work, she also quit her job or was put on pause for it. But I think she was put on pause because she did not want to put her marriage on the show like that anymore. I think she was fine when when her and Mike were dating, but I think when they became married, she became a bit more protective, like she said in the statement that she sent to TMZ, and that was the same thing that got Kenya put on pause when she not only did not tell Bravo about the marriage or the relationship, but refused to put that relationship on the show. And that's unfortunate, right? Because the ladies give so much. It should be fair if they want to protect one part of their life. They shouldn't have to give everything to remain on the show, especially if what they're given is good enough, right? If it's, enough, if it's entertaining enough, it should be okay. And that's why I personally am not opposed to people lying about storylines or whatever. Just as long as the acting is good, just as long as the storyline is believable to a point, at some point people are like, oh, this is fake. But as long as you're delivering, giving me comedy, giving me storyline, I'm okay. I would actually prefer it, because I would hate for you to put your real life problems out there to the world for people to judge and just think on and speak on. You know what I mean? I really wouldn't want the ladies to really do that. So I'm fine with the faking, because unfortunately, when you want to hold a part of yourself back to just keep for you, you are removed from the show. I think that's unfair. And I do think that it's unfortunate if this is really true. I actually am on Cynthia's Instagram. And let me look. Let me look. Ah, she's Cynthia Bailey. She's Cynthia Bailey. Cynthia Bailey, actor. Okay, girl. Okay. But she's Cynthia Bailey, no longer Hill. Oh, let me show you. Cynthia Bailey, no longer Hill. Girl, I don't know what's going on, but I will say this. I need Andy in the camera. This is it. Let's get her back. Let's get her back. Cynthia, come on home. Come on home. The show needs you. Come on home. Let's come on home, sis. I want her back. I want Cynthia back on the show. Y'all can even do friend of. Y'all can even do friend of while she's going through, whatever she's going through with Mike until that's situated. Then you can make her full time. But I want Cynthia back. I want Cynthia back. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, if they're not recasting everybody, they need her in that ensemble. She works. She works well in that ensemble. Y'all know I don't really do that to discuss like what's going on, in people's lives, because it's not our business. When you know certain people, it's weird. It's weird. But I had to talk about that because it's about a show that we review, and it's a reason to get her back on the show. I think she's needed on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And if she's back to, doing her, you know what I mean? Then it's time. It's time for her to come back. And I also wanted to talk about it because if there is any truth to this, I want this not to be a lesson, but to be something that women watching this take into account, right? And what I want you to take from this is to never change your life for a man. Cynthia went into the negotiating room with Bravo and said, I don't want to talk about this because this is mine. I want to protect him. And Bravo said, see you soon. See you soon. And I think because because Mike wasn't moving where she was at, and she couldn't move where she was at because of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and because she wanted to be close to her husband, she let a really good opportunity for her go away. And I hope that she never makes that decision ever again. Always put you first, because who in the hell is going to look out for you if you ain't looking out for you? Don't put your trust in the man. You see what happens. And I love Mike. And I love Mike. I hope it's just a rumor. I hope it's not true. But Cynthia, you taking the hill off your name. I mean, come on. When you do stuff like that, people are going to be like, what's going on? And then neither one of them are posted about their anniversary. So I don't know. I don't know, Star Fam. What do you guys think? It's time. She needs to come home. She needs to come home. Come on home, Cynthia. Come on home. So Seth said, I promise you she's filming. She was in Atlanta at a game with Kenya with another woman that's being auditioned. Okay, Miss T said, Cynthia, tell us everything. Girl, we are rooting for you. Rooting for you. Shavetta said also, I don't think Tiffany was ever with Kevin. I believe Kayla know Tiffany and got her to do the show with him for the come up. I believe that too. Shavetta. Drewski said, now both of her wedding days being cursed and her going through the marriages anyway, and this happening both times. Everybody told her not to get married. Because of the pandemic. I mean, it was just, you could have did a Zoom wedding, a Zoom courthouse wedding. Oh, sometimes the wedding gets the best of women. Tiny said, but a housewife with a hidden husband is just weird. Rather have a Juan who barely pops up, but at least pretends to participate. Yeah. I hear you, Miss T. The show is called Housewives. I hear you. You know, I love her, but that kind of threw me for a loop. Since when? Okay. Okay. Tracy says, shout out to the Nikki.Star replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Please, Star fam, like Yocrates said, it helps your girl grow in the YouTube algorithm. But we're growing. We are growing, guys. We are almost at 15K. What? What? We are almost there. Thank you so much. So much. Slycat said, I remember Mike admitting before that he committed infidelity in his previous marriages. He learned. He's a better person now. LS said, child, where's Leon? You know what? I hate to say it, but I listen, I got to be honest with y'all. When I read this, I was like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity. We have been rooting for her and Leon to get back together for so long. You know, and sometimes it doesn't work out when you're younger, but you know, if you spin the block, you know what I mean, later in life, it may just be a good fit. Oh my God, if Cynthia comes back and her and Leon are dating, God, that would be something. That would be something. Miss T said Peter can't be Cynthia's longest marriage. You know what? Unpopular opinion about that. I think that Cynthia left him because of so much pressure from her family and friends. I think if everybody was on board with Peter and liked him, I think they would have still been together. I think because I felt like when she divorced him, she still really loved him. Her daughter really loved him. And I think that it was just the pressure of her family, the fans, and her friends that made her make that decision. And listen, you know, your family loves you and they want the best for you, absolutely, but you have to make the best decision for you because now the dude is doing good. Mama, you should have weathered the storm. He's doing good. But you know what? She did what's best for her. I hope that this is just a rumor, but my God, today, my heart, I was like, no. And then I went to her Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening, Cynthia? Come home. Come home, Cynthia. Come home. Come home, sis. Yep. Drewski said, you know, maybe Robin has it right with not marrying Juan after all. Sometimes it's best. Listen, I remember, and I've changed my opinion on this. I remember I was just like, I'm not going to be, you know, a girlfriend in my 60s. Because I told y'all that I did not find out that my aunt and uncle were boyfriend and girlfriend until like his funeral. And I was like, wait a minute. They've been dating this whole time. They're in their 70s. I thought that they were like they are married. They have children. They have homes together. And they were boyfriend and girlfriend. And I was like, why didn't they get married? It's like, my aunt did not want. My aunt was like, I didn't feel like all that. I was like, oh my God. No, you were a rule breaker in the 60s. She was like, I didn't feel like that. That wasn't for me. The women in my family, my God, today. My God, today. Anyway, oh, ciao. Anyway, I was just like, I don't want to be like nobody's girlfriend in my 60s and 70s. You know what I mean? Like if I get married and it don't work out, I want to be a wife again, right? But you know, I've changed my opinion. I may be somebody's girlfriend at 80. I don't, because it's not looking good. It's not looking good for women on the opposite side of marriage. It's just like, man, you got to sacrifice so much only for the dude to do you dirty. Get the hell out of here. I feel like if you're a woman and you got everything going on, the last thing you need to do is compromise for a relationship because your life is good, right? The man should just come in and fit in that life. He should not come in and change everything. Absolutely not. If you have to make all those changes to be with him, bounce. You're a good catch. You'll find better. You'll find better. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe it. She was like, I feel like it. I'm like, oh my God. I thought they were married this whole time. She's like, I feel like all that. Be somebody's wife for what? And I guess it's because I'm an adult now and they can talk to me as an adult, but I was like, I'm still your niece. Lie to me. Oh, wait, Leon's married? Wait a minute. Leon is not married. Ain't no way. Child, you know, the internet is so messy. Leon Robinson, wife, daughter, and gay rumors. Excuse me? That is not what I'm looking up. The only wife they're mentioning is Cynthia, and they never got married. So what the hell is this? Married? Wait, this is not. Kirby Wallace. Kirby Wallace. Hold on. They say he's married to Kirby Wallace. Leon and Kirby Wallace. Hold on. Because y'all, wait a minute. Where did y'all hear this? Because I don't feel like I'm getting it. You know what? I don't believe this. This is who came out. What that? Where are y'all sending me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I won't believe it until Cynthia says it. I won't believe it until Cynthia says it. Cynthia Simone said, same with my mom. My mom called my dad her boyfriend and told me they never got married, and they have four kids in the 90s. Period. Listen, women are like, I don't feel like all that. Hadley said, Luann posted that the OG Roni with Cynthia or Eva, they would announce at BravoCon. Child, if it wasn't for COVID, I would be at BravoCon. Because I feel like a lot is going to be announced at BravoCon. And my God, today, I feel like it won't go the way Bravo thought. Because if they're rebooting Dallas, child, Better Days said, gotta head to your other channel soon. Love. Oh, wait, I posted the video. It should be up. Thank you so much, Better Days. Some people said, my uncle didn't find out his parents were married to his dad's funeral. We find out everything at the funeral. That was thrown by his actual wife. He apparently knew the woman and his half brother and sister from church. It was just, oh my God. Oh my God. So Steph said, I started to realize my mom and dad weren't married when I was able to do the math when I was little. Child, listen, we find out everything at the funeral. You find out the people who you thought were your family is not your family. You find out about another family. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, family, let me get out of here. I had such a good time with you guys. I missed the lies. I really, really do. I'm going to listen. Please just watch my channel, hit the notification bell. I want to do a live tomorrow. I don't know how my schedule is going to work out. So every day, just watch my channel because I will post something. It's either a recorded review or it's a live or it's an update on when the next one is coming. So just watch the page. I wish I could do it earlier, but I just really don't know my day-to-day until that day, to be quite honest with you. And then if I do have that day available, something else happens. So just give me a chance. Let me, get this schedule together. It'll probably be like this, real talk, until the new year. It'll probably be like this until the new year. So I'm just trying to figure it out, but make sure you follow me on Instagram at NikkiNicoleStar. I'm on TikTok at Nikki.Star, and my other channel, which I have a new video posting right now, which is Nikki.Star at home. Thank you all so much for supporting me and just, keeping your girl blessed. It's because of you that I enjoy doing this, because like I said before, YouTube could have been a really rough place for me, but you guys made sure it was extremely enjoyable and safe. And I thank you all for it. I will see you tomorrow. for something else. The live that I want to do tomorrow is another reality TV chat. There's a few things that I wanted to talk about. I also want to talk about Bachelor in Paradise and 90 Day Fiance. I want to talk about that too. So we're going to talk about some stuff. I'm probably going to do more reality TV chats just because, like I said, my schedule is crazy. So look out for that. But watch this channel, hit the notification bell, and you will hopefully see me soon. See me soon. See me soon. Love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye. Mwah. I gotta wash my hair. Oh, ciao.